Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Roll the Waves 3 as Germany, episode number 7. I've poured through the comments. We have had some role-playing comments already. That's fantastic. Also, just a note, for those of you who are newer to the game and are interested in... It's coming out, I think, in a couple days, isn't it? If you're interested in checking out some of the tutorials. I have started a tutorial series. It should have been live by the time this video goes out, although it's being worked on contemporarily, but... Anyway, I've read through the comments and that was just my way of segueing into what ship we're going to build. It looks like people were really interested in seeing what a destroyer swarm looks like. And frankly, we can afford to do destroyers plus something else because they're very, very cheap. Now, they're also going to be terrible, but I think that's going to be okay. We'll just get like one 3-inch gun and then pretty much as many torpedo tubes as we can, which might be... I hope it can be 2. And I actually... Oh, wow. I think we're not going to be able to... I mean, 26 knots is just a speed demon in this day and age. So we'll have the 20% crowding. That's expected. And we have short range. I mean, these are just goofy. They're so bad. But again, 26 knots on these things is just, well, it's a lot actually. I mean, relative speed is certainly quite good. There's also something to be said about the fact that these are going to be destroyed in pretty much like 1 or 2 hits. They're going to sink very quickly. I think I'm okay with that. I don't really see any reason to put like any other guns on or to do really anything else. Yeah, I mean, there's just I think there's just nothing that can be done with this thing. How much are we away from? Yeah, too much. Yeah, so this will only be in the northern Europe area, and if we were playing as somebody else like the United States, we might not consider doing that because the East Coast is not that great. But considering Northern Europe is the home of many countries, I mean, I guess France at least, and you know, you'd probably get some action against Italy there as well. Certainly Great Britain. I think it's going to be okay. We'll go ahead and save this design and let me get a name. Okay, so this will be the Stroud class. Interesting, yes. Well, it's there. It's done. I guess that's the most I can say about that. We'll wait a couple of months, and yeah, our budget, we definitely have enough to really throw at a big project here. I think that there's an interesting idea about moving these older ships. We can't really move them out to colonial because they have the cramped accommodations. Let's at least put them all into or maybe into 2. I think I'll put them into 2 different divisions just to make sure that... Wait, are they already in? Yeah, they already are. Good, they're already in a division. So we can also kind of enforce that these ships are in a division. I think that might be worth doing. In my head, ideally, when I walk away, I'm always saying I should like go ahead and build a whole fleet up with like armored cruisers protecting something, but you know what? Reality is that sounds like kind of a pain, especially in this system. So it's really nice that they have the division editor, though. I think it was something that a lot of people wanted for a long time. So I think they'll automatically assign an officer to that, and the less micromanagement I have to do, the better. So we'll just move on. Oh, brother. Well, this does happen a lot. I mean, we're very lucky that the destroyer we designed, that we at least, put onto paper, is only just that, on paper. But I have had it before. There was, in fact, this running joke that if you want to discover a better technology, you just have to build a ship that would really need it. And then, of course, yeah, so rework look at that. Look at that, 29. Now this ship, which once was very different, we can actually afford 27 and, oh, baby, We can get normal engines on it. I mean, normal accommodations on it. This is really something. And I'm trying to keep this from being more than 30% change. Can I add another gun, though? Because I feel like we could. It probably is going to take us over. Okay, it's a 40% change. Can't really do that. We could do it. Oh my gosh, what's the penalty? Can we even do it? No, we can't. Okay. We could do it if I put 1 torpedo per side, but then this thing's effectiveness would just be basically nothing. So let's do this. Let's do the only 1 gun. I mean, it's only going to have 1 gun. I mean, it's really only going to have... I mean, a 3-inch gun is just not going to be very effective. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't think it matters that we have 1 or 2 of them. They won't be that effective in either case. How's this looking? Close. We're actually close on that. I really don't mind putting speed for... That's, I mean, the exact example I would use for engine priority. The best example of using speed is for destroyers, just like this. I'm just kind of goofing around. I wonder... It's doable, but I think it's fine. I mean, these things are just going to sink so quickly anyway. Okay, how much is a torpedo? Okay, 16 per mount. Damn. Yeah. I mean, if we brought this down to okay. Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. This might also solve our centerline issue. I always get this wrong, but is it HI? It is. Ah, -4. You lied to me. You lied to me. Did this not have 16? Yeah, I think it's because they weigh 16, but then they're actually more than 16 when they're actually going on for one reason or another. I can't remember exactly what the reason is. It's about the supporting weight, I think. Like, okay, if these are 16, then your engine has to be a little bit bigger to actually... No, it can't be engine, because engine should only be affected by displacement. But, yeah, what is it? What is it that changes the weight of the ship by adding torpedoes? Well, anyway, something which is not accounted for in the weight per mount. What I thought we could get to, but, by the way... Yeah, it would actually get rid of the... You know what? Maybe these things are going to die so quickly anyway that we might just try to squeeze off. Can I take down the rounds per gun enough to get to -3? At what level? 145. My goodness. That's not a lot of rounds. And we're already at 26 knots, but I think having... Well, I mean, this gives them a 3rd torpedo. Whether that torpedo would ever see the light of day, mainly because I doubt we'll even have a chance to turn around. But you know what? Let's do it. Let's do this, because it'll be fun. I'm going to see if I can crank out a little bit of extra weight. Go to 147. And it's only a 20% change after all that. 21 and 1 more month. Okay, go ahead and do it. Kapitan the Sea Colored of Fjucht missed the last tactical... His names are just... Missed last tactical exercise as he was late returning from a golf tournament, which he won. I don't care about golf. I don't think... Oh, I like this. Have him beached. You say you won... Wasn't that Army Colonel the favorite? I think I'll let it go this time. Interesting. I'll do this one. It's not a middle ground. I don't really know how to deal with these officers yet, so we'll just have to figure that out. Ah! The Minister of the Navy wants to have a look at the details of our design study for a DD Stroud. What's your response? Of course. I'm sorry, but we need the ship urgently. We don't. You may look at it. Proceed. I was stalling anyway. The invention of the eccentric turned out to be completely worthless. Has to happen sometimes. Alright, you're done now. So let's build this thing. We can probably get... well, it's short range without cramped accommodations now, so this thing we can just populate this wherever we want. And that won't even take us out of our... Okay, let's build 10, because I need to build another ship. Okay, let's build 12. Because that's just what... You need a swarm, right? Okay, so then we already need to start working on our next ship. And another one that people did talk about was getting another battleship. But how many battleships do we have total, all told? 7 and 6. So we're going to be at 13 total, but I do see that people are really ramping up. I mean, even Italy's going to be at 19 soon. Freaking Russia's at 26. My goodness. Yeah, we'd be at 13, which would be like the least out of anyone. So our next one, it just has to be a battleship. I'm going to try to wait as long as I can before I build it, which is the normal like game you have to play with ruled waves, which is why I love it so much. I love the idea that your ships are coming out obsolete. It's kind of a very cool thing that you don't get in a lot of games. A lot of games you can like save up your research, and then you can just build like a super ship that you don't need to worry about researching, for like several years after that, or a lot of game turns after that. But not in Rule the Waves. The progression of tech is just done beautifully. Okay. Another round of fighting has broken out in the Balkan nations. We're going to blame it on France. As long as we can, we really want to get France... I mean, as much as we can, we want to get France into a war. And we have Naval Academy, which somebody told me is in Doctrine right there. So let's go do that. That's going to give us better officers. I still don't really even know how effective officers are. But... like, just in theory, I mean, from a role-playing standpoint as well, I like the idea of having good quality officers. So we'll go ahead and spend some money on that. The Herthas are not in their own group, and I think that would be another good call to get these guys. Unless. I need to actually open these designs to see, are they colonial? Because it's possible for us to actually get probably a protected cruiser as a colonial. What are our foreign tonnage requirements anyways? 2,000, which we can easily satisfy with just corvettes. 2,000 and 3,000. So we don't have that much. We actually have 0 tonnage requirement over there. And okay, we have 0 in the Pacific, even though we do have some holdings over there. Which is interesting. I wonder if that will go up if I choose to build more naval bases. Because that's actually cool if we have no foreign tonnage requirement, but we can put ships there. Actually, I guess that you ought to put ships where you need them anyway, so I take back. What I just did was probably not a smart move. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't cost too much, but if we're going to pick and choose places where we should park ships in the places where we need to satisfy foreign tonnage anyway. It's not a big deal, though. I'm waffling back and forth, which means I don't think it's very clear. Volgalands, well, as long as the Freyas are in their own group, which they are, then the Volgalands and the Herthas technically can intermix. Although, yeah, and they even have 8-inch guns. Okay, yeah, that's completely okay. I wish we had one more tech. How did our monthly balance go so negative? How did this go so negative? What did I do? It's funny. Because I could have sworn that our money was positive after we built those destroyers. I'm not actually worried about it. It's not a big deal, but it can't be just from the... No, don't do it. Yeah, I don't think that's only $290 a month, so it can't be that. Huh. Oh, let's build... Oh yeah, okay, good. Our basic expansion is complete in some place. Yeah, this is weird. Our monthly balance is exactly 0. Is this a bug? 87249. France and Russia, bring it on. Okay, Kapitan Zossi von Harp of Schweitzer happened to bump into the Kaiser at a recent opera performance. It seems they hit it off really well. And now the Kaiser wants von Harp to command our newest Soldatenkönig, currently under construction. We got prestige for this. What's the sum as? Oh, interesting. We can assign him as naval aide of the Kaiser, but it says to pool. I mean, if he's already a captain of a battleship, I don't care. Just go. All right, sloping armor deck enables sloping deck in ship designs. Great. Now we can design things with slope deck, and I think that this is probably a good time for us to build our next battleship. Okay, so do we want to do something like the standard class guys where we're all going at 17 knots? I feel like that's probably what we're going to do. Just want to double check how far behind we are on armored cruisers. We are also behind on these. But we have enough protected cruisers that at least the sum of our cruiser force is not terrible. My goodness, Great Britain has so many, 51. But we're actually doing better than some nations over here, so that's good to see. So let's, yeah, we do need some more armored cruisers too. We need more of everything. Let's get more battleships first, because I like the idea of that. Okay, I think that I had it up, but I probably did that thing where you can't get it back. It disappeared off the screen. Oh yeah, somebody asked in the tutorial series about belt coverage for narrow belt versus the belt extended and upper belt. How do those all play? It's a good question. I don't know the answer. Yeah, so this takes us back 17. I mean, we can get this thing up to, what was the other one at? 12,800. So let's just park this thing at 13,000 for now, expecting that we do about the same. 4 for those, 2, 1.5, conning tower of nothing, turrets of 8, 9, 2.5, 2 for secondaries. Ooh. Yeah, I like the idea of having the 8-inch guns. I don't know why, but that does seem appealing. Maybe we get 6 per side. Seems like a lot, actually. And then let's get... Yikes. I think we're going to have to stick with 4-inch guns. And wow, we're doing okay. Jeez. 77, 70... It all seems about fair. We're getting about as much tonnage as I would expect for increasing or decreasing by 100. Okay, secondary guns reduced by 20% due to cramped secondary battery arrangement. What do we have to go down to? Okay, 5 per side. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. 5. That's 5 8-inch guns, and then 4. Oh my gosh, no wonder. Why didn't I see it sooner? The problem is that we only have quality -2 guns, so these battleships are just going to be forever horrible, and therefore... And therefore, really the value of them is going to be in armor. I think I want to try to get 11-inch guns still. How do I do it though? Four 8-inch guns? Wow, that's easily going to do it. Maybe we can take this down. Maybe it's yeah, okay, that helped a lot. Although 105 is not as many as I would like. 210? We'll go down to 200 here. Actually making good ground back just by decreasing the rounds per gun. Okay, well, look at that. We solved our problem. Wow. There's this magical effect that when you see 0 weight remaining, I feel like you're compelled. It's you're just compelled to hit save the design, which I will do. All right, and I picked up a name for this one. It'll be the Absolution. I don't actually have any idea how to say that in German. But yeah, that's apparently, after some discussion in the Discord about it, it is apparently a completely valid German word. Okay, so that's our design, actually. I think it's good. I'm happy with it. Got a couple of torpedoes, which, you know, though I don't know if those are any... Yeah, we've seen them actually be very useful, so yeah, they are useful. Okay, save and finish. This will, I'm sure, eat a great amount into our budget. But the monthly balance is 0, so it's like the perfect storm. The balance is still 0. I feel like I'm bugged. And this hasn't changed. But if we're bugged, let's stay bugged and let's order like 15 new battleships for the cost of 0. I'm okay with that. Doesn't seem like we can get France to get pissed off any faster. They were interested in buying some technology. It's Japan. Who cares? Smokeless powder. Okay, good. And we did bump our research up to 12%. We'll continue to build docks. Eventually that will be useful. It is bugged. Okay, USA is seeking improved relations with us due to rising tension with Spain. What do you recommend? I want to see this. I just want to go to war. I mean, better relationships with the US is not a bad thing. It's not really a good thing in a lot of ways, but their budget is slightly behind ours. Wow, even Russia's budget is killing mine. I mean, that's probably because their own tensions are rising. I think I'm going to say, let's not get caught up in the tensions of others. Okay, improved cementing, gradual improvement of armor quality. So now we should probably rework this design. And by the way, our monthly balance is now negative. That's, I guess that's kind of good to see. I want to change something very minor and then rebuild this thing. So, although I think 105 rounds is not that many. Probably 160 can go down so that this can go up to 110. Okay, let's go up one more. There we go. Okay, let's do this. It'll be a very small change. I'm just doing this. I'm hoping that this will allow it to get the better armor. So let's just take a 350 hit. New cruiser from Spain has arrived, and I really don't care. We'll go to war with anybody. Okay, we have better torpedoes. That's very, very important considering our battleships. I mean, our destroyers. They need something to lob at the enemy. All right. Well, unfortunately, we know that we can't actually build that many of these. So we'll build 4. And I'll have to get some new names. All right. So, welcome. Wartburg, Glucken, and von Danzig. This was the Peter von Danzig, but I'm sticking with the pretty standard tradition that only last names are used on these ships. Okay. Alright, so that's definitely going to sink our excess for a while. And then when all is said and done, by the time we go to war with France, hopefully we'll have better ships ready to go. Is that going to be the case? Almanac. Wow, wow, wow. We'll have 17. Woo! Alright, I like the idea of that. What the heck? And everyone's just building away. Yeah, 17 is barely going to be satisfactory. Alright, well, I'm glad we built them at least. And do they have destroyers? Oh, yes. A colonial crisis with France has arisen. I'm curious, what do we got? Well, that wasn't as much as I I'd maybe hoped. But I'm glad we were able to push those tensions up a little bit more. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, if real military people are secretly hoping for war, like Tortuga is in a video game? One would hope not, but... not much to do, just keep clicking the next turn button, waiting for research. After a brief war, Japan has occupied the Chinese territory Guangzhou 1. Interesting. Are they actually at war? Well, maybe their tensions have now reset, but... oh, yeah, we're not modeling China. Okay, well, I guess Japan is. But, yeah, hey, that's good. I mean, we didn't have... somebody actually mentioned that there is a way to invade. Oh my, come on! That's not... how is that supposed to work, Great Britain? Well, at least our ships are coming online. Oh wow, this is just a truly a cluster foxtrot. Like, you know, if there's a... yeah, if there's an A at two places where there's, you know, tensions or whatever. So France is allied with Russia. If we ally with Russia, our relations with France will be terrible, but we'll both be allied with them. That just sounds hilarious. I don't care normally, and Russia, I really wouldn't mind going to war with them, but I want to see what this pickle of a situation looks like. I guess Japan didn't like that. Kind of to be expected. Alright, is it time? We'll leave these guys on active. I think it's time for us to... okay, we got Lit-Eye, bursting charges. Plenty of monthly... so let's mobilize. Prepare the fleet! We probably should also consider moving some ships into different areas. I think battleships-wise... we're not going to do that as much as I would like. There is a way you can do this to prevent the battleships from going into battle. You could just mothball them. Now, unfortunately, when you mothball them, they don't count as your tonnage for blockade or preventing blockade, which is more pertinent for us. I really am interested in knowing how Great Britain... I mean, mostly I'm interested in knowing what is the mechanic behind somebody going to war. I mean, are they going to choose? Is there a chance they choose, a chance they just don't enter? Maybe the game will just allow them to be at war with both of us, which would be terrible because the AI doesn't really fight itself very much. Kind of just, you know, picks little tiny fights. Whereas we will definitely not be doing that. Okay, going back to my question about what to do with my armored cruisers... I don't know. Dang it, I don't know. We do have time still, but... you know what? Let's build some more destroyers. No. We're about to get 400 tons. Let's wait for that. In fact, let's push on that. If we get the 400 ton ones and we can start building those, that'll be fun. I think we can do a lot with those. Wow, we just finished 39 ships. Oh, that was working up. Okay, France has secured Weihai territory as a concession from China. I guess they are also going to war. Yeah, I'm sorry, Japan. You're not that big of an interest to us. France. I mean, Japan. Germany and Japan. When would they ever be allies? It'd be a cold day in hell when that happens. New docks completed. That's something more to do. Okay, look it. I agree. We do need some. We do need some armored cruisers. They want to buy better hull construction. I'm going to say by all means. I'll take the money. We'll build the docks. Is that what's our money? Yeah, that a lot of money does go towards that. I'm going to continue to do it though. And now let's get another armored cruiser, because designing ships is, like, in my opinion, the best thing about this game. No. Now we have quality 8-inch guns finally. No, that's not true. We've had them. It's the 9-inch guns we need to have quality -1. So we're still going to build the quality 1 then. Our quality -1 8-inch guns. We're not going to go with 9-inch guns because they're quality -2. 21 is the minimum in my opinion. We'll leave this on medium. We have the dock size to kind of spend on this, and I think we should still go 1.5. Okay, so I'm just undo this for a second. Let's take a look at the Volgaland. We can actually open this design, and if we want, we really can just design based on this entirely, because this is a pretty good starting point. And now what the interesting thing is, if you notice, we have weight remaining, which we didn't have. Obviously, we built the Volgaland to basically be at weight, at its tonnage, to be fully utilizing its displacement. Now we have 185 because technology has advanced. And if we want to build the same ship with the same guns that aren't on the ship, yeah, we can build the same thing for less total weight, which means more weight is available for other things. Now, just looking at it, I don't know why I even bothered. That was probably done because of weight concerns or something, but 2.5 would be fine with me. I wouldn't mind getting like some belt extended or some deck extended here, but since I didn't do that already, and I'm also okay with that. Oh, this is only 20 knots. We do have some 21 knot. I think the 21 at this point has got to be. I'm trying to get that. Ouch. Okay, well, guess we won't do that then. 400 tons. Jeez, man. It's almost 500 tons. 450 tons to get 1 extra knot. Yeah, we can get tons more armor instead. And I prefer tons more armor. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny that we can get a 1-inch on all these things. And the turrets up to that and all that for the 1 knot. We can probably find a way to make this work. Yeah. Definitely. I think I kind of want to bump this up by another. We're only getting 40 out of that, but that's okay. Apparently that's normal. So we'll do 8,500, so I can get a little bit more ammunition. My thoughts are, it would be great if this is a ship capable of raiding. By the way, just in case you didn't know, you can't do 0.5 itself. Yeah, armor thickness 1/2 inches, not allowed. Yeah, I went up this far, and I feel like I can't. It's too late to turn back now. By the way, why would we want? Wouldn't we want to do a slope deck on this thing? Oh, that explains it. But I think we can live with this. 145. Back down to 4.5. Conning tower. We'll leave it at 2.5. For some reason, I don't want to lower it more than that. Maybe the upper belt down to 0. We just use belt and belt extended, but you know, that'll protect more for the waterline hits. I'm just going to be a little bit less safe about the upper belt. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm not as happy about this as I was about the battleship. I think that just kind of worked. And this one feels a little forced. But it is kind of just like it's like a new version of the Volgaland, which, by the way, no longer considered part of the Volgaland tradition because we've changed it too much. But at least, you know, it's one of those spiritual successors. Still have 31 tons remaining. I can do something here. Interesting. Okay, so we can't quite do that. I don't... Oh, these are top-mounted. We can't do that no matter what. And it's more expensive to do the submerged ones. But as I've mentioned before, the submerged ones have some real drawbacks, potentially. So I think I'm just going to spend this on ammunition. 190 and 155. Okay, that's pretty good. 95, 194. Okay. We found a way. All right. So what's your deal? Okay, we'll change the design in a moment. Yeah, only 10% reduction now. I think that's okay. All right, we got the Sternenclare. Sternenclara. I have no idea what that means. I don't even know if it's German, but it passes the litmus test, the Tortuga litmus test for is it German, which is not very rigorous. So we'll go ahead and design that. We definitely have the monthly budget. Just so curious to see how this Great Britain thing works out. They want to raise armament expenditures. Interesting. Let's do it. Our best brains are hard at work studying the fascinating challenges of improved torpedo aiming systems, but there has been little progress so far. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good place to call this episode to a close. Right on the brink of war, yet again with the French. We are allied? Question mark. We'll see what happens, because we're technically... They're allied to the Russians, so we're going to go to war with the Russians. Yeah. Why did I even... I thought that... Okay, that was my rationale. I wanted to be allied with the Russians as well, so it would be this total... complete web of diplomacy. It didn't pan out for us, unfortunately. In fact, it might have been better for us to be at war... to be allied with the Japanese then, so at least that they could kind of aggravate... I don't know, in theory, it would be nice that if Japan and Russia were fighting, but again, I don't think the AI does much fighting. But we're mobilized, and I think we're ready to go. So, all we can say is bring it on. Oh my gosh, I was going to say we can get a fourth one. We'll see what happens. Until the next one, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.